Hello students, welcome back. So now I'll show you how you can connect your Python program to MySQL. So first thing you want to do is make sure you have MySQL installed on your local computer. If you're trying to connect your Python to MySQL, that is installed on your local machine. If you're trying to access remotely, that's easy too. I'll show you in this session. Also, I'll show you how to install the driver that's responsible for connecting your Python to your MySQL, and then I'll show you how to connect with the driver. So the first thing I'm going to do is open up my command prompt. So come over here and type cmd, and that's going to open up your command prompt. I already have MySQL on my local machine, so I'll be running these commands on my local machine. So let me increase the size of the screen so you can see what I'm doing. All right. So the first command I will be entering would be this right here: MySQL -u root -p. So this will allow me to log into MySQL using my root username. So MySQL and my username is root, and it's going to prompt me for password. So I'm going to enter my password. All right, entered my password. Now I'm connected to my SQL. Now I want to know what type of database do I have. So for that, just type show databases, and that's going to show you all your databases. And enter. Now remember, this is on my local machine. So this is actually the database that's on my local machine. So I don't have that playground DB. So I'm going to create that database right now. So just type create database and type playground DB. Enter. All right, done. Now type the same thing again, show databases again, and there you go. Now you're going to see playground DB. All right, so we have successfully created our own database called playground DB on our local MySQL. Let's go ahead quit this now. So type flash q, and that's going to quit. All right. And now I'm going to install the driver. So the driver that I'll be using would be MySQL connector Python. So let's go ahead and install the driver using Jupyter Notebook. So the way you install is you use this exclamation sign pip install MySQL hyphen connector hyphen Python. So go ahead, run this, and that's going to install your driver. So this can take some time depending on the speed of your computer. So just have some patience. Okay, so the driver has been successfully installed. If you come down, you can see that you're going to see a message like this coming down right here. All right, successfully installed. Great. So go ahead, run this command, import MySQL connector, just to see if it's working. So run this, and there you go. So everything is working good because I did not get any error. I'm happy right now. So now let's go ahead and create a config variable. In this case, I'm using a dictionary. So specify your username. My username is root, the one I just showed you. Enter your password. Password is MySQL at the rate of 123. This is my password. You would have to enter your password. Then host. This is the IP address. This is the address of your computer. In my case, it's localhost. I'm running MySQL on my local computer. If your MySQL is running remotely, let's say on a server, and let's say the IP address of a server is this, you would have to enter this number over here, and then specify your database. So database in my case, the one I just showed you, is playground underscore DB. Okay, so after I create my configuration, then I try to connect. Okay, so I create a connection right here. So I'm calling mysql.connector.connect this right here. And then if it gets connected, you're going to get this message, connection established successfully. Otherwise, it's going to give you an error. So let's run this. And there you go, connection established successfully. Now let's go ahead and make a mistake over here. Suppose you enter the wrong password. Let's say it's MySQL. Okay, I remove the L. Now if I run this, you're going to get a message like this. So this is that message. It came over here. So access denied for this user using password. Yes. All right, so let's go ahead and fix that. So this is the password, MySQL. Let's go run this again, and connection established successfully. So the first thing I'm going to do is create a table called employees. So let's go ahead and import a few things. Let's import the error from the connector, and also importing date time. So first create your connection. This is the connection I'm creating. If my connection is connected, then I create a cursor right here. Cursor, basically think of that as an object that's responsible for executing your SQL statement, SQL queries. So this is my create table query right here. Create table if not exist employees. I'm creating these table called employees, and inside employees I'm putting 4 columns: ID column, first name, last name, and date of birth right here. So this is my character. This is my variable character, and my date type right here. Then I execute this query. So when you execute that, you supply this create table query. That would be this statement right here. You supply this, and then at the end, if everything goes fine, it's going to print out this message. Otherwise, if there's an error, it's going to print out the error. Now, if both the things are done after this try and accept is done, finally at the end, it's going to check if the connection is connected is true. It's going to close the cursor. Also, it's going to close the connection. It's a good idea to always close your connection. All right, let's go ahead and run this. And there you go. Table employees ensure to exist, create if not present. All right, let's go verify that this table has been created. So let's go to that cursor right here. Let's go to command prompt. I'm going to type MySQL minus u root minus p, enter. Enter your password. There you go. Now I'm going to connect to that database right here. So use playground DB. All right, database changed. Now I want to see my tables. If the table is there, all you have to do is just type show tables, and that's going to print out all the tables inside the database playground DB. And there you go. You can see that employees has been successfully created. And now let's go ahead and populate the table with some sample values. So create a connection again. Check if the connection is connected. If it's connected, create a cursor right here. This is my insert query for SQL statement. Insert into employees, first name, last name, and date of birth. And these are my values right here. This is the variable holder. So percentage as, and then at the end, you can see there's a this right here, a code, double code at the end. Okay, and then right here I'm taking some sample values. So these are my sample values. Employees to add: John Doe, so this is the date time. So let's say this is his date of birth. Jane Smith, that's the date of birth of Jane Smith. And let's say Peter Jones, that's his date of birth. So I'm just inserting three records in there. Then you call cursor.execute many. In this case, the reason you're calling execute many is because you're inserting multiple records. So anytime when you insert multiple records, it's a good idea to use execute many. Okay, insert your query. That would be this query. And also put in your employees to add. That would be this data right here. All right, connection.commit, and everything goes fine, you're going to see this message getting printed. And then at the end, if let's say something wrong happens, you're going to see an error message. And also same thing as I did before. If your connection is connected is true, close the cursor, close the connection. So let's go ahead and run this query and come down. Oh, look at that, three records inserted successfully. Let's go and take a look at that. So go to your there you go. So go ahead, open up your command prompt, and just I'm already in the MySQL right now. So just type show or select. Okay, select everything from employees, and there you go. You should see those three employees: Jane Doe, Jane Smith, and Peter Johns. Great. So now I'm going to verify the same thing using Python code. So first thing I'm doing is creating a connection right here. If my connection is connected, I'm going to create a cursor, and then this is my select query. Select everything from the employees table, and then execute your select query and fetch all your records. So in this case, I'm calling this inbuilt method called fetch all. That's gonna execute the query, and it's gonna fetch all the records, and it's gonna get stored inside this records variable. Then over here, I'm printing out all the rows in my record right here. Then if there's some error, I'm printing out the error right here. Finally, at the end, if the connection was successful and the connection is connected, I'm closing the cursor, also closing the connection. So let's go ahead and run this. And you should see those three entries. There you go. John Doe, Jane Smith, and Peter Johns. These are the corresponding their date and their date of birth right here. Now I will show you how you can read from a CSV file. So let me go ahead and show you the CSV file. This is my CSV file right here, data.csv. And let me open this file up so you can see. So these are the content of the file. So in this case, you have three same individuals: John, Jane, Peter. In this case, I'm calling it John 2, Jane 2, Peter 2. So you can separate one from the other. All right. The first thing you do is create a connection right here. And then if your connection is connected, create a cursor just like we did before. This is my insert query. This actually query is the same, the one we just did before a minute ago. Okay, and then create a list, employees to add. This is going to hold your data, and this data actually is going to come from a CSV file. So I'm opening up the CSV file in a read mode. Okay, that's what this R stands for, and I'm using this inbuilt method called dict reader, which is short for dictionary reader, and create a CSV reader object. Then I'm iterating through the CSV reader, um, getting the first name, storing it inside the first name variable, getting the last name, also getting the date of birth from here, and then I'm populating my employees to add with the first name, last name, and date of birth. Then over here, I execute many. I put the insert query, I also put the employees to add. Then I commit. If everything goes fine, you should see this message that so many records have been inserted successfully. Let's say there is some error. If there is some error, God forbid not, but let's say there is, you should see this message right here, error E. All right, this. And there you go. My action connection is closed. Three records inserted successfully. Let's go verify that. So, well, one way you can verify that is you can actually run that same query again over here, or you can just go over here and run this. Select everything from employees, and there you go. You can see that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. John, Jane, Peter, John 2, Jane 2, Peter 2. All right, this is good. Or you can also run the same query. Remember the select query we ran a minute ago? You can run the same select query all over again. That should give you that. So go ahead, select this, Control A, Control C, come down and copy and paste this and run this. And there you go. You can see that all six records are present now.